Hey, what's going on, everybody? Bit vs. Andy here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the gamer event going on in Bit Heroes. So as you can already see, town looks crazy. A lot of people on Discord were saying when they logged into Bit Heroes today, they thought their monitor had crashed or bricked. Multicolored, like old style TV retro lines going through the town. But anyways, diving in a little bit more into the event, we can pull up the news panel. The Gamers Festival is here. We can bring bit discs to Sardinex and also earn the new familiar known as XX _DarkOverlord XX, which is a sick gamer tag. I also should call out later down in the news panel is a little bit of a content creator spotlight, so make sure you guys are watching Bit vs. Andy on YouTube. Shout out to the team for throwing me in there. I appreciate it. Now, pulling up Discord, we can see that promo image a little bit clearer, and we can get an idea of some of the cosmetics. We can see what I believe is going to be a gamer chair mount. We can see the LED PC, and this is also, I believe, a mount. We'll touch on that later. It's a handheld like Steam Deck or Switch options here, like PS5, the Nintendo NES, the Xbox, the Game Boys, and then I believe this is the Sega Genesis, perhaps. But yeah, pretty much recognize all of these. Like, obviously, a lot of long-term gamers probably would. So that is what's going on with like the theme and how town looks like. And you can also see Sardinex is dressed up like a Game Boy himself, which is awesome. Now, before we get into the Sardinex shop, I wanted to go over the featured shop deals going on. Remember to grab today's daily gore. But really I want to talk about the cosmetics. And there's the X-Core set, which is basically that Xbox cosmetic. Comes with a head, body, and accessory. And yep, you can see it here a little bit closer, how it would look in game. And then the other one is the Master Race Car bundle, which just gives you the Master Race Car, which is hilarious because of, PC Master Race. And you can see that mount. It just is a large LED'd up with the glass screen so you can see inside PC. And it looks pretty sweet. There's a $10 cosmetic bundle with some weapons, and honestly the weapons are pretty sick. Anything else related to the Gamer Festival? Not quite, but there is 30% off on pet eggs right now. Not a bad deal at all. So that's what's in the featured shop. Now I'm pretty sure, like we saw in the news panel here, that next week we'll see this mount, the gamer chair. I believe this is going to be next week's $30 mount, so just something to keep in mind. Okay, then digging into the Sardinex shop itself, there's the classic material, energy, and boost box, a big ore for $7.50, the old cosmetics, which are these ones from last year, as well as the new year's cosmetics. And we can see here's like the Master Deck, which I would compare to a Steam Deck, and this one looks like the Master Build Visor. This could also be Steam Deck, but it's almost like longer. It reminds me almost of the Switch handles. And then here's what I believe is the Sega Genesis, the Mega Helm and button plate with the 6-button matrix. And then I believe the D-pad relic is going to be the Nintendo. And then here's the BitBoy Color, and BitBoy Advanced. That's classic. So yeah, make sure you guys are grabbing these over the next couple weeks if you want to get your hands on those cosmetics, as well as if you want to get your hands on XX DarkOverlord XX. This is the event exclusive familiar for the Gamer Festival, and he actually looks kind of juiced. Pulling up this graphic from Neflarian, make sure to check out his video, linked in the description, about XX DarkOverlord XX. But just looking at him super briefly, he comes with a whopping bonus of 30% evade chance and 15% chance to gain 1 SP when you get hit. So he comes with built-in 30% evade. That means that you can take his evade up to 75% with perfect mythic evade pumps. And then he also has fundamentally Bully Rune built into him. 15% chance to gain 1 SP when he gets hit. Now he's got high health, high power, so he's built like a tank. His abilities are not too bad. His 0 SP does require you to hit the enemy if he has 0 SP, he is required to hit the enemy. But I've heard people say, he might be PvP viable if he's getting hit and gaining SP anyways. Then he could use his 1 SP consistently. His 1 SP is a deal damage to self and shield self. So he'll be gaining shield as well as hitting himself. So if you put a brain that is a when hit brain, you have a chance to trigger that every time he uses this. 2 SP is heal a target and give them SP. 3 SP is shock fastest for 237. And 4 SP is give 610 Fury to target teammate and deal 61 damage to self. Like, honestly, I think he's pretty viable. Having the Bully Rune built in is kind of nuts. Overall, I think he's super solid. Some people are comparing him to Tetheus. Honestly, they have pretty similar bonuses. I think Dark Overlord is more offensive and Tetheus is more defensive. So it honestly more leans on what you prefer is as your main tank and what you need on your team. So overall, I'll definitely be grabbing Dark Overlord. It's kind of crazy that they're releasing a legendary fusion that people are even comparing to Tetheus. Some people calling him better in many situations. So super awesome. And I definitely would recommend grabbing Dark Overlord this event. Typically during Sardinex events, we do have pets that you can earn from dungeons, and they show up in the possible items list. However, I believe I'm not seeing any this time around. And when I was looking at the pet cosmetics list, I can always tell if there's new ones at the bottom because it'll show more blank slots than the newest pets that you've received. And you can see here, it's going to be the BitBoy Color, BitBoy Advanced, and then there would usually be a few more. But basically, I think the only pets from this event are going to be from the cosmetic chest to the BitBoy pets. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the new stuff. I do want to mention a few tips I have for you guys to make the most of the event. First off is know that during the Sardinex event, we will have double daily bonuses. Normally, Monday gives 30% XP and 30% capture rate bonus. So it is a great time to grind. On top of grinding with the double daily bonuses, you will be earning the Sardinex currency from just about every game mode, everything except for fishing. So not only should you be taking advantage of the double daily bonuses, but also, it's a great time to pop gores and pop currency because you'll be earning the Sardinex currency on the side. To earn the most Sardinex currency, when you're running dungeons, make sure you're running the skull dungeons that cost 20 energy. They will be fighting all 3 bosses from the region, and bosses are what actually have the chance to drop the Sardinex currency. So they will get you the most Sardinex currency per energy. I always run these during events. And if you need the most Sardinex currency fast, the most Sardinex currency per hour is always from PvP. Load up on tickets and just grind it. I don't think there's anything to find around town. Sometimes there's things to click on, but definitely make sure you're clicking on Sardinex every day throughout the event, or at least 14 times on the final day, because he will give you sometimes Sardinex currency, sometimes something like an energy pack, sometimes straight up gems. Definitely always make sure to talk to Sardinex during the Sardinex events. Last but not least, the final tip is during the last 24 hours of this timer, you cannot earn more Sardinex currency. You can only spend it. So I know this says 11 days, but please get your grinding done in 10 days. Anyways, that's going to be pretty much all for this one. Let me know what you guys think about the Gamer Festival and some of the new cosmetics. I want to take a second to say thank you to all my current channel members, Twitch subscribers, as well as my current stream boss, Jason Baker. Thank you so much for supporting on stream. In today's video, I'm also doing a giveaway. For your chance to win 1,000 gems plus an epic adventure bag in Bit Heroes Quest, go ahead and leave a comment including the word gamer. And 2 lucky winners will be selected 72 hours after I've posted this video. Good luck, everybody. That's all for this one, guys. Until next time, take care and good luck with your grind.